Hello Vinyl community, this is Sean with another video, and for this video I'm going through my collection A through Z. I'm currently in the C section of my journey to show my vinyl records. I'm ranking them at the same time, and to determine my top records in my collection, just personal rankings. I followed the lead of Steve of All the World Stage. I got the idea from him, so thank you for him. Thanks to Steve for that. So I'll just go ahead and get started with this one. Like an idiot, I neglected to show Johnny Cash. I'm not sure what my malfunction was in not bringing those out earlier, but first one I'll show is Johnny Cash, essential Johnny Cash record, I feel. If you in the least bit like Johnny Cash essential record, this is Johnny Cash at San Quentin. Probably if you had to have one Johnny Cash record, I would imagine it's this one, and it's Boy Named Sue is on this one. I Walk the Line, Wreck of the Old 97, great song. Starkville City Jail, Folsom Prison Blues. Yeah, so classic Johnny Cash album, highly recommended. And again, probably the essential album you must have. I guess also Johnny Cash Folsom Jail. I don't have that one yet on vinyl. That's probably the next one I'm going to seek out. Also the Johnny Cash records with the large, I think it's like 5 records with the later in life he made with the Cash written across the top. Those are pricey, but ones that I'd love to have in my collection. So this is the first one, and my last name is not Powell, so somebody at one point was named Powell, maybe the original owner, or who knows, maybe 3 or 4 owners after the original. But happy to have in my collection. It sounds good, and sounds fairly decent. It's probably maybe a VG though. I would like to get an upgrade on this one. But that's my first record I'll show, is Johnny Cash at San Quentin. All right, and the second album that I'll show, and I forgot my notes, they're in the house, but I'm gonna try to wing this, is Johnny Cash, The Man, the World, and His Music. So this one has like over 20, I think around 25 songs on this. I remember when I started getting back into vinyl, this is one of my first records. My son Joshua bought it at the local record store, which it'll hold something special for me on this one, because it's from him. He's always liked Johnny Cash, and he knows I like Johnny Cash, so he got this one for me. This one I didn't know until I was researching this video. This is based on a movie, so it's kind of like I guess a soundtrack. But there's no narration in the movie. 1969, I believe, is when the movie was made. It was when he was married to June Cash. June Cash had kind of straightened him up because he was a drug addict, and this is he got sober up during this time, during this period where he was playing these songs. So it's just basically a video camera, I think, following Johnny Cash around, and he's talking to people on the tour or whatever, interactions with people, but there's no narration. So one that I'm going to seek out, I don't know, maybe it's on a DVD or something I can buy, or if you know about this, The Man, the World, and His Music, if you watched it, let me know in the comments what you think about it. But yeah, so Sun Records, yeah, so like I say, I left my notes in the house, but anyway, the one that sticks out for me on this one, the only A song, is Mean Eyed Cat, but several high B songs for me on this. Let's see, Born to Lose, Good Night Irene, Wreck of the Old 97, Blue Train, I know I rated that high. Oh, Belshazzar, Wreck of the, I already said that. Yeah, so there's some songs on here that are not to my liking. There's like 25 songs on it. So some of the songs, I'd probably skip if I had a CD player or something where I didn't have to lift up the needle. but and it kind of brought the average down because I did rank this record, even though it's kind of like a compilation, but it scores really good. It scores a high quality B for me overall. I like the red cover. It's like the Courtney Barnett cover that I have in the house with the red, and they colored the skin red. I don't know why I like that effect, but certainly do. And I guess that's all I'll say about this one. That's Johnny Cash, The Man, The World is. Walk the Line. If you haven't watched the movie Walk the Line, Reese Witherspoon is June Carter, and Johnny Cash is Joaquin Phoenix. I highly recommend that to watch that movie. I think it's a great movie, kind of like a documentary. I don't know. It's a real life portrayal. I guess similar to like the Elvis movie kind of thing. Highly recommended. I like it better than the Elvis movie. But anyway, that's Johnny Cash, The Man, The World, and his music. Okay, one I do not recommend because it's canned laughter, not canned laughter, canned audience applause. That's what it seems like to me anyway. It's probably the worst live album I've ever heard in my life. I do not recommend it. It's got some great songs on it. It's got Hey Porter, which I love that song. It's got Folsom Prison Blues, Wreck of the Old 97, like the record I just showed. I think both of those are on there. Come In Stranger. Got some great songs on it, but like I say, the quality, sometimes the audience is louder than Johnny Cash. I don't know what the heck they were thinking about when they put this out. I can't imagine this having a good review. But this is Johnny Cash and the Tennessee 2 Showtime. I would get rid of it, but I probably wouldn't get much for it, so I'm just going to keep it in my collection, and if anybody wants it, I'll give it to you. Anyway, no, I take that back. I don't want to pay the shipping. I'll give it to you. Just leave a note in the comments. Okay, Johnny Cash and Tennessee 2 Showtime. All right, the next, now back to my regularly scheduled programming. Last video I left off with Charlton's UK, and for this one, I'm going back to my alphabetical collection. Joe Cocker is next on the list. This one I'm not a fan of. The next record I am a fan of that I'll show from Joe Cocker. This one I just never got into. Bought this in a flea market. My wife really likes Joe Cocker, and she was like, why don't you get this one? I was like, okay, I'll get this one. I guess it's basically, yeah, it's from the original soundtrack of Joe Cocker, Mad Dogs and Englishmen. I guess maybe similar to the Johnny Cash record as a concert film. And yeah, so there's the gatefold. It looks like they're having a good time. Looks like that was a large traveling ensemble band. Looks like they probably blitzed out of their mind every day of the tour. But yeah, just not a record that I've really gotten into. It's got it's double LP. Quite a few songs on this one. It's got some water damage on it. Vinyl plays fine. Leon Russell on guitar on this. Yeah, number of well-known players on this tour. But that's all I'll say about this one. This Joe Cocker, Mad Dog, and the Englishman. Okay, and the next one that I'll show is Joe Cocker's Greatest Hits, and I am a fan of this one, and I did rank this one because I wanted to see where it ranked in comparison to my wheelhouse albums that I've ranked so far in the 80s, early 90s, late 70s, and it's Joe Cocker's Greatest Hits, and I rated this a little bit higher than Johnny because number one, because I think it's 10 or 11 songs compared to 25. So some of Johnny's songs, you know, the ones I didn't like so much, put them down below this Joe Cocker record, but this one gets a solid score from me. My son last night, he said, have you ever heard of Joe Cocker, Woman to Woman? I was like, no, I don't think I have that. And then this morning I saw Woman to Woman was on this record. Actually, it's funny because the only one I ranked that below a B for this greatest hits compilation, where I would probably skip it if I heard it, or there's a good chance I would, it was Woman to Woman. It's like a soul song, but I feel like he doesn't do a good job of hitting the high notes. No knock against him. It's just his voice is so burly and deep that it's hard for him to hit the high tones, the high notes. But this one's got, with a little help from my friends, Black Eyed Blues. The song that I ranked the highest I remember on this one though is You Are So Beautiful, Feeling All Right, Darling Be Home Soon. Those three are the highest ranked. I really love those songs. And overall, it's just a really great record, I feel. Not too many of these on Discogs, but I got a good price for it. It doesn't go for a lot of money, but there's other greatest hits collections from Joe Cocker, but I feel this is a quality one. This is one of the older greatest hits records. I have in my notes when it was made, but it's one of the older ones, but a good one to have, and I definitely recommend it. Alright, so the next one is, oh shit, my dog just got me muddy. Okay, so the next one is Joe Cocker, Heaven or Las Vegas, and this one is my favorite song off this. This is the only record I have from the Cocteau Twins, and it's I think there's like 7 or 8 albums that the Cocteau Twins have, and I definitely want to collect all of them because I love this band. I ranked this one as the highest of anyone I ranked on this video for sure. It's going to be among my top albums of all time when all is said and done. I just love it. It's ethereal. It's some say Cocteau Twins are the founders of Dream Pop. I can't really argue that. I think they're one of the founders for sure. And it's similar to Dream House. Some people say they're or Beach House. I'm sorry. Some say they're shoegaze, which I'm not getting that. When I think of shoegaze, I think of bands like Ride. But another great song off this one is Cherry Colored Funk. I love that one. The other single off this, besides the title track, which did pretty well in the U.S., is let me find it. Ice Blink Luck. Ice Blink Luck is another great song off this one, and I think it did pretty good in Europe. It got number 45 in the Europe charts, but didn't do anything here as far as charts. But I don't think this album overall did well when it first came out. I think it just aged like a fine wine. Just got more popular. It's just got more popular over time. I'm having all kinds of emergencies here. All right, so that's it for Cocteau Twins. My cat knocked over the dog cookies, so I'm putting them back in, trying to get my dog not to notice. Because he smells it, of the open, exposed cookies that fell. Oh yeah. Yep. Sorry for this interruption. These dog cookies are expensive, so I don't want to just let them go by the wayside. All right, back to regularly scheduled programming here with Coldplay, my only Coldplay record that I have, and I have an iPod somewhere in my house, downloaded music somewhere on a laptop I never used, that I haven't used in 10 years. But that's why I got into vinyl. I always hated downloading music, paying for iTunes. Yeah, never liked that. So this one is a fairly good album. I've rated it lower than I thought I would, because I do like Coldplay. Yeah, so the songs on this that you might have heard of is "A Sky Full of Stars," which is a very good song. It's a good song. It's the highest rated song I have on this. It's not an A song for me, but certainly a good song. Always in My Head, the first song off this album, is very good. Oceans is a good song, I feel, but that's the only ones that really stand out for me. Maybe I need to listen to this on my new turntable to see if maybe it goes up in my rankings. I do like the early Coldplay, with the song Yellow, Rush a Blow to the Head type stuff, X and Y. I love that time frame for Coldplay. This is a nice gatefold with a nice picture of the band. Chris Martin is the lead singer, has a great voice, iconic band. A lot of people love to hate Coldplay. I'm not one of them. I can't remember the other band member names. I think I have in my notes Will Sargent, I think, as a band member from Coldplay on this one, on all records from Coldplay. But I recommend this one. Give it a low B, and anything that's in the 83 to 84% range in my rankings is definitely one I would never depart with. I like it a lot. It's Coldplay, Ghost Stories, and that's got 2 more records here. I'm going to be showing this on my next video as well for Vinyl Tag Vinyl Contest for Auditory Vinyl, Doug. It's going to be one of the questions on one of my questions, but this is this is Collective Soul, their self-titled album.